Identify the property of equality, addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division that could be used to isolate each variable. Number 1, 4x equals 48. To solve this, the inverse operation of multiplying would be division. Number 2, k minus 4 5/10 equals 9 8/10. The inverse of subtracting 4 5/10 is addition. And number 3, n divided by 7 equals 42. The inverse of division is multiplication. Solve for each one-step equation. 3 plus x equals 12. We're going to subtract 3 from both sides. 12 minus 3 is 9. Number 5, subtract 19 from both sides. Negative 8 minus 19. Both of these numbers have a negative sign in front of it, so that's negative 27. Number 6, negative 3 5/10 plus q equals 14. To get rid of negative 3 5/10, we're going to add 3 5/10. To add decimals, you have to line up the decimals. 14 plus 3 5/10 is 17 5/10. 5x equals negative 115. We're going to divide by 5. 5 will go into 11 2 times. With 1 left over, 5 will go into 15 3 times. X is negative 23. Negative z divided by 3 equals 9. We're going to multiply by negative 3. Z equals negative 27. Negative 3/4 r equals negative 1 multiplied by the reciprocal. Anytime you divide by fractions, you have to multiply by the reciprocal. R is negative 4/3, which is negative 1 1/3. Solve for each variable. Use more than one step. Show your work. 2x plus 7 equals 11. We're going to subtract 7. 2x equals 4. Divide by 2. X equals 2. For number 11, s divided by 5 is negative. S divided by 5 minus 3 equals 2. I'm going to add 3 to both sides. S divided by 5 equals 5. Multiply by 5 on both sides. And S equals 25. Negative 6a plus 10 equals negative 27. I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. Negative 6a equals negative 37. Divide by negative 6. A negative divided by negative is a positive. 6 will go into 37 6 times, with 1 left over. 6 will go into 10 1 time, with 4 left over. 6 will go into 40 6 times, with 4 left over. So that's going to be a repeating decimal. It's going to be 6.16, and we're going to stop there. All right, 5 halves b plus negative 25 halves equals negative 10. So I'm going to add 25 halves to both sides. My sides are different, so I subtract. I have to put 10 over 1. I have to have a common denominator. Common denominator between 1 and 2 is going to be 2. So I multiply by 2. Negative 20 over 2 plus 25 over 2. Different signs subtract. That's 5 halves. 5 halves b equals 5 halves. multiply by the reciprocal. 5/2 times 2/5 is 1. B equals 1. All right, for number 14, we can do the order of operations, so we can add 16 plus 8 2/10 first. That gives us C times 24.2 equals negative 84.7. C times 24.2 is 24.2C. I'm going to divide by 24.C on both sides. 24.2. Move your decimal place and bring it up. $242 will go to 847 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. $847 minus 726 is 121. Bring down a 0. 242 will go into 1,210 5 times. So C is negative 3.5. 1/6 times 2/3. My 2 and my 6 will simplify. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 3 is 9. So 1/6 times 2/3 is 1/9. Plus 1/6 D equals negative 3. I'm going to subtract 1/9 from both sides. 1/6 D equals negative 3 and 1/9. I'm going to multiply by 6 on both sides. Negative 3 and 1/9 as an improper fraction. 9 times 3 is 27. Plus 1 is 28. Times 6 over 1. My 6 and my 9 will simplify. 3 will go into both of those. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 28 times 2 is 56 over 3. 3 will go into 56 18 times, with 2 left over. So D is negative 18 2/3. Choose the best answer. What is the variable of x if 1.1 times 1 plus x equals negative 99? 1.1 times 1 is 1.1 plus 1.1x equals negative 99. Subtract 1.1 from both sides. That gives you negative 100.1. Divide by 1.1. Move your decimal. 11 will go into 100 9 times. 11 will go into 11 1 time. So x equals negative 91. That is A. What is the value of z if 7/6 z plus 1/3 equals negative 5/6? Subtract 1/3 from both sides. You have to have a common denominator. My common denominator is going to be 6. So I'm going to multiply the second fraction by 2. Negative 5/6 minus 2/6. You have to use additive inverse. That becomes negative 7/6. 7/6z equals negative 7/6. Multiply by the reciprocal. Z equals negative 1.